A month ago or so I made a video covering everything we know about Deltarune's next chapter. However, a lot of new information came after I posted it and there is much more to speculate about now. Especially with the new newsletter and a weird ARG. Before we start, I would like to say that I would be very grateful if you subscribe to my channel, as almost no one that watches me does that. It would help me grow this Deltarune channel a ton and you would be notified about new videos I post weekly. I think it's worth it. Alright, let's begin. First pieces of new information came from TOBY'S BLUESKY. He showed the game to his two friends and they were very positive about it. The second one's testimonial about the opposite of missing TENNA sparked a lot of discussion in the fandom, but it turned out that was just a joke without deeper meaning apparently. A couple of weeks later, Toby posted a screenshot with the worm's dialogue about being caked up. That's amazing, Toby, I can't wait for the new Castletown segment. And finally, on December the 19th, he dropped a newsletter. Let's take a look at it. The first thing Toby shared there was a new scene from Mike's room if TENNA is still in Castletown. I will play the whole thing since we're gonna take a while to analyze it. But if you already watched it like 3 times, then you can skip to this timestamp, no worries. I love that Toby made the discussion about the names of the minigames being the names of the mics canon. I absolutely love Bluey. It was such a funny thing to see, and I love how the mic trio became a way for Toby to reference the fandom. Then TENNA randomly starts trauma dumping about his relationship with Spamton to Mike. Imagine how Spamton had to feel inside Chris's pocket hearing all of that. We learned some new information about the contract that TENNA tried to sign with Spamton. It was originally talked about in the Sword Route. I made a video in which I analyzed it and much more from these minigames. Turns out Mike was discouraging TENNA from giving that contract to Spamton as something bad would happen. And he was right. I mean, their relationship fell apart and Spamton probably lost everything as well. Also, TENNA comments about the size of Mike's ass to Chris. That's canon now. Yeah, Chris. Chris is there alone for some reason. I don't know if it suggests anything or not, but it would be interesting if Susie and Rosie were at a different dark world while we're walking around the castle town. Just like at the end of chapter 4. It is weird since the music that plays there isn't the castle funk, you know, the song that plays there if you spared everyone, so imagine if these scenes were a part of the weird route. I don't know, maybe Chris went there to craft the twisted sword? Who knows. Also, there's a door in this room. I really wonder where it leads. Maybe to the big microphone or just to some new minigames, who knows. Alright, that's everything about the mics. Toby gave us a chapter 5 status update and said that progress is going excellently, and the game will be out in several months. Most rooms, scenes and battles are already finished. Toby also shared a new piece of music. He said that this is the only one from the entire soundtrack that doesn't spoil anything. That's such an insane thing to say. I can't imagine the amount of leitmotifs this chapter has to have for every track to contain a spoiler. Anyways, the track is called Shop. If you don't want to listen to it too, then yeah, you can just skip it. Tony said that most of the remaining shopkeepers in the game use this music. That means two things. First of all, that shops are back, probably. We haven't seen them since chapter 2. And second of all, that chapters 6 and 7 will probably not have any shopkeepers. That makes sense, we already know chapter 5 is probably the last regular chapter, since that's where we'll fight the last secret boss too. What's also interesting is that this track was played by Chris at Noel's house in chapter 4. I don't really know if what they play there has any lore significance, but it's still interesting. Maybe 7-4 will also appear somewhere in the next chapter, as is also a track that Chris plays that isn't on the soundtrack yet. Aside from that, we also got new animations of the Shadow Guys and of Queen. Alright, that's everything new we learned about this chapter from this newsletter. But there was one interesting thing that happened after it. Toby sent an email to many people saying another chance, which directed them to deltarune.com/chapter4/thank-you. Apparently we didn't figure out what the correct answer was and Toby gave us another chance. The question on the website was, how long did it take for her to smile? We all immediately assumed that her is Noelle and that is related to the weird route. In the first space we had to enter our email, and in the second we had to input the time it took for her to smile. If you didn't put anything in, you would get a text saying, "She never smiled?" People immediately started theorizing what could it mean. Some thought it was the amount of seconds it took for Nell to smile in this weird out scene. Some people were counting this scene. Some even were counting the weird out scene with Susie. What was the right answer? Nobody knows actually. People have gotten a lot of different responses. You can see the whole spreadsheet going through the screen right now. Many answers got the same responses. Some also got the message "move forward" with this answer. However, we still don't know what this is supposed to mean. It's probably some sort of an ARG that Toby will develop in the future, but it's weird that so many different answers are accepted. I mean, it makes sense. 11 was submitted the most, and Toby said that if you follow the same path as everyone else, you won't pass through here. It's really interesting and it will definitely be important in the next chapter. Especially since if you enter 5th chapter or festival, the response will be, "The next day you'll see her smile." We know that the festival is going to be a huge scene where the weird route will continue. Anyways, here are all the responses that Toby said we should move forward with. She felt it like a countdown if you put something below 0. She never stopped smiling. Before the sun went down. The next day you'll see her smile. It was the first time she ever smiled in her life. It was the first time she smiled since she was a child. So you don't think it was really you that made her smile? If you said you didn't know, do you think that means she still can if you entered too long or never? And look at you trying to be all original when you input she lost track of time. Those answers are so different from each other that I really don't know what it will lead up to. Tricky Tony, you're doing it again. And the last news we've got were from Toby's Twitter account. He just casually dropped a couple of lines from chapter 5 that are in translation right now. And yeah, the middle one is from Sham, where they talk about the shadow crystals. They apparently hold the power of will, or rather, yeah, we don't know. People theorize that Sham will drop determination or freedom here. I honestly think freedom is more likely since that's been a theme forever, but determination could also very much work. It would be funny though if they just never finished that sentence. Other than that, we also have some descriptions of photos with the dreamers and the holidays. And also Susie asking Chris about them watching horror movies with Asriel in the past. I guess those dialogues will appear in Asger's basement or something, since they seem to be related to the dreamers specifically. But the Susie stuff could be at the festival as well. There's also a green apple shampoo quote that everyone is going crazy about now, rightfully so. And yeah, that's basically everything interesting in here. It's actually insane that Toby decided that Shadow Crystal dialogue was nothing crazy, and that he can just drop it like that. I'm so scared about the lore reveals in this chapter, seriously. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then make sure to subscribe for more. As you might know, I am working on a huge video about the Knight. It will be half an hour long and we'll go through every Deltarune character to figure out who the Knight truly is. If that sounds interesting, then make sure to click the subscribe button to be notified when I upload it. You can also share your opinions about these updates in the comments. And check out my other videos about Deltarune, I've made a couple already. So yeah, until the next one, and...